indoctrinated from the age of Disney and fucking the Bible. No offense, it was a good book, but
Get your Bible
so
knowledge
cute.
from Nita.
it'll be about as accurate as the real one.
Hello, my name is Zoe, and I am here with the girls from Yours, Mine, and Ours. And right now we have Mine and Ours, and Yours, my dad, is out doing yard work.
Like the good doting husband that he is.
We are on this podcast just talking about everything from authenticity to living life unconventionally and how that can bring about some challenges in the real world today.
Also, if you are faint of heart, you might not want to tune in.
Yep, all those really hard conversations that people don't like to have. We love to have those.
The ones that are the juiciest. So let's dive in.
Experience is the only trustworthy teacher.
Amen.
Just saying.
I've even experienced, like, when people go through a profound direct experience, they will try and explain it in like these poetic words or this artistic expression of some sort, and everyone else who's not experienced what they've experienced will get so attached to the words that they completely miss the fact that it was talking about an experience. And then we're settling for not having the experience, and we're arguing over what the experience is.
Well, and other
when
people...
we conversate, like, they're so caught up in themselves that there really isn't any room for anybody else. Like, so there is like 4 kinds of talkers, but would you know that we get the same gratification that we get from sex?
By talking?
By being listened to. By being listened
I
to.
believe it. I feel like some of the most intimate sex I've had is in conversation.
Mm-hmm. That it is no
It's
different than
very
that.
different.
No different than that,
It
Brock.
could be the same, but very different.
Hold on.
Very
I
different.
I am just saying the
think
same
sex-
neurons and the same like synapses that are firing are still the same ones that are firing. And the amount of like dopamine is like, it's right up there. The levels are right up there.
I guess I've never had anybody who has understood me
Who is
well enough for me to be open enough to feel that in conversation.
Yes.
Okay,
But people can't conversate with me that long for me to get to that.
I don't blame them.
I feel
Thanks a lot.
I love you. I just understand. I know. I'm like,
but that's where it comes with finding someone who can meet you at your depth there,
Exactly.
which is difficult. But
yeah.
also, I believe that sex is kind of available anywhere, and all that sex is finding the intimacy, the dance of the resonance of someone with you between it. And so physical intimacy is like such a profound way of teaching us that dance.
Are we expecting people?
I think
Oh no,
there's
that's true. Okay.
there's so many different ways that you can enter into that dance with. I mean, that's like what flow states are for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
They enter into the dance with energies, with their art. And it's like, I mean, you call it masturbation. I don't know what you want to call it, but they enter into something that's so consuming that there's like wind in their sails. They don't even have to think about it. They're just there with it. And that's what sex can be. That's what a lot of things can be. And so
You clearly have a good imagination like your mother. Me, on the other
I mean,
hand,
I'm not like
I
can
definitely
go-
require the other participants.
go to there by myself. I
can't. I tried
but
it in jail.
I mean, in conversation.
I mean, probably not a good place to try it, but
in conversation. I'm talking in conversation. I rarely get to go there with people.
people.
I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so if you rarely go there with people, how come I have to have in-depth conversations with fucking strangers who I don't know? I don't even know that lady's name, and I didn't even know that I was in love with you until she parroted that shit back to me. And she was like, so, I heard that, like, when you get home, she gets home from work, like, dinner's cooked, it's on the table, and you, like, have a drink waiting for her. And I was like,
Yep.
She's like, is that true?
Absolutely.
And I was like, the stranger is parroting it back to me at the pool at Laguna. And I'm like, I don't even know this lady. She just, like, was definitely, like,
that
in
was,
a 10
that
foot
was a
deep conversation.
That was a deep conversation.
Yeah, and
You've explained that
she said that she doesn't get to reach that
you
very
don't get
often
to reach
with
the
people.
intimacy of your edge with another person's edge in conversation.
Correct.
But yet, when you're around her in her conversation, it goes past your edge in conversation with other
Just
people.
when I'm willing to, like, share with people that I don't even know your name. Like, I don't even know your name. People open up to your mother like she's Barbara Walters.
And so,
People probably go there all the time with
hypothesis.
me,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I don't have someone I can go there with. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. But also when you say, I go there with myself, I want to propose a question of there's energies beyond us type thing that
Might need to drink this after
our
all.
self is actually a makeup of
Oh my.
so much. You know,
I
like
made that
whoever
figure
we
about me.
think we are is like just
A
like how
delusion
our
or an
biology
illusion?
is all carbon from the stars and like different things, and so all of the unseen energies are also just a conglomeration makeup of things that we're tapping into elsewhere.
I just think definitely the doors have to be open or at least cracked for
So
those
like
things to happen.
the intimacy
So
that
what-
you're
what are you-
experiencing, I
yeah,
understand
what
the
are you saying
intimacy that
in
you're
lay terms?
experiencing could be
You're
genuine. It just might not be with people.
True.
And
Could
so
agree with that.
I just think that we're in the world where we're starting to expand that understanding.
boy. If it ain't with people, I don't know. Where then? What would you say? If it's not with people, then where? Because I think it's with people.
She is saying that there's lots of other stuff out there, and it may not just be me with myself.
But it
Sure,
in
I
the
got
same
that
way
part.
as
Okay.
all those things are as much yourself as they are not.
Yes.
I'm clearly not following. Y'all are talking in circles.
And this is why you're here, because there's probably so many people in the audience that are going to be
You're
like,
like,
I'm
yeah,
Nita.
yeah, like, I
I'm
don't know what the
Nita,
fuck these
are
bitches
they
are
talking
talking about.
And we're like,
We're like, oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's because they live underwater and I need air to breathe. Okay? 'Cause-
and okay, this reminds me of two fish swim past like this old fish, and this old fish is like, the water's great today, and they're like, and then the old fish goes past, and they're like, what the fuck is water? Because it's like, it's so funny.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
so
funny.
old people have a joke like that too, and it's about cows though. So the male bull says to the young bull, the young bull says to the old bull, he says, let's run down this hill and go fuck one of them heifers. And the old bull says, let's walk down the hill and fuck them all. So, same theory. You guys just changed it to fish. I think mine's better, but you know.
I don't even see how those are the same.
They're not quite the same, but
But I like it.
It's Tomato's motto.
It's pretty good.
Why is everybody laughing with me? I think that I'm...
because
what
now
was wisdom?
No, but relating them as being the same thing, that kind of works.
I mean, you
as
could
kind of
fucking
funny.
totally, like, you could totally... Anyways, I thought we were using metaphors. Like, that's not the metaphor. We're not using metaphors.
I like
So you
that
were speaking
metaphor.
literally about the fish? Because if you're speaking literally about the fish, they couldn't
Well,
fucking...
the two young fish don't even realize they're in water. Do you understand? They didn't even. He said the water's great.
Okay.
They didn't even realize they were in water.
But the same thing with the young bull. He thought he could only fuck one of them.
I kind of get it when it's
Okay.
like the young bull thinks it's got to chase and run fast and go find one to fuck, and the old one's like, where you can just walk. And if you know what you know, and you've learned enough, then you can fuck all of them. Maybe.
I can see how you see a difference in metaphors.
I could see how you see the same in the metaphor.
I'm just saying, I can tell that shit came from our shit. You guys bite, like, your guys' generation bites shit off of ours, but, like, that we already had, and we called it something. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to need to make up a new thing for some shit that we already did? And it had a perfectly good name, and everybody knew what we were talking about.
Well, it's like, why live? Like, there's always more to...
Because they would like to
Collaborate
experience
with.
life on their own terms.
Yeah, but
just
then
like we got to.
Hold on, then I was like, okay, so I was arguing.
Sorta
I was
got
arguing with,
to.
like, this girl that's younger than me, right? At camp. What's what we're going to call it? So, have you ever seen the movie Fast and the Furious?
No, I didn't watch it.
Never mind. I don't even have a reference point for you. And this is what
That-
I mean.
this is
what I mean
our
about
life
everything
sometimes,
gets to be new.
which
Everything
is
gets to
awesome.
be new, and I get to be the first, which makes me feel super special and important. Well, that's because your identity was stolen.
Yep.
By religion.
Yep, and I get to learn new culture and new things, which is super fun.
As do I. I didn't even like Christmas till I had white people Christmas, and I was like, this is great! This is great!
So see how when you guys meet each other at your edge, it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely a fair exchange that's taking place. So, like, well, I don't know how fair it is. If I'm being honest, I definitely think I had the better end of the deal, but, you know, that's because my shit was tainted far before you ever came along. and there's nothing
The
there.
funny part is we all think we have the best end of the deal.
You're
That is-
hilarious.
Which
I
is
definitely do.
I know.
I
That's
definitely do. I promise you.
It's pretty crazy.
I don't put up with no shit. None. Very little. Well, very rarely.
You cook, you clean, all that.
I do that.
I just come home and
I
I
do that
eat
shit
and I
happily.
drink.
It's like being. Yeah. It's like being a wife, without having to.
And then I get to be the girlfriend, which is super fun.
Right. Where I look and I don't have to have no ink dry or no. You know.
But I don't have to have any responsibility. It's
Okay.
pretty great.
I'm with it. You do have responsibilities. You got
Well,
responsibility.
And I
To
get
him.
free entertainment.
Yes.
It ain't free. Sometimes it comes with counsel.
That's true. That's true. I pay my dues as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Now forget you clean your fucking room, it would be okay.
She doesn't even have a room now.
Yes, she does.
Well, a half room.
Do you remember what I said when she was moving out? I was like, we're gonna leave everything the same. It'll always be here. Your mom move your shit out the next day. She was like, the fuck it is.
We moved out of that house.
I'm saying when she was getting ready to leave for Hawaii, I was like, you could always come back home. Your mom was like, yeah, today.
If we would have stayed there, she might have been able to.
And the thing about me is I don't need some like room ready and prepped for me to come home to. I'm very happy to just come home to.
She actually
anything.
didn't like her room most of the time.
I don't
Anyway.
really like rooms. I feel like they're kind of like
She didn't like
"Ah,
how it
stay-
represented
stay
her
here
life.
with
She's
me,"
like-
and I'm like,
now she's like a nomad, and that works pretty good.
Yeah.
She just travels all over.
Not a nomad. Not everybody that wanders is lost, my love.
True. Does a nomad mean they're lost? No, they're just people who travel
Nomad
around.
means
the
like,
word.
I feel like nomad is like, what does that mean? No
No.
home?
No home.
no,
They just
no.
they wander and they
Home-
set up.
home is
what-
within.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
But there's a word, vagabond. I could be a vagabond.
That does not sound attractive at all. I don't even know literally what that word means. I just know this hotel that was called the Vagabond. I don't care how sexy you say it. It's not cute. I'm gonna show you. So
A
I'm gonna
vagabond holds a stick with a bag tied to it with your stuff in a
That's
bag.
vagabond?
That's a vagabond.
fan fucking and look how sexy you thought that was.
With a scarf.
To me.
You know, it's one of those scarves and all your stuff's in it and it's tied on the stick and
Well,
you carry your
I
stick.
bet I can make it sexy.
AKA hobo, and I'm sure that you
Hobo,
could.
there you go.
I never denied that.
I used to be called Zobo the Hobo.
Okay, well you could.
well.
I have no doubt that you could make anything cute or sexy.
Yeah,
That's a
so
whole
we
nother
actually kind of started this podcasting because all of us ended up not having a job all together at the same time, having to do with our own unique ways of living outside.
Speak for
of
yourself.
the
I actually am the
rules.
only one still going to be employed with a job. Who's seen that one coming?
Right.
Not me.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Breadwinner over here.
I know, right?
Yeah. I used to bring home the bacon. That's not true anymore.
And I used to fry it.
Yep. And he would eat it.
Mhm.
There we go.
If there was any left.
Oh.
So
I've
yeah.
been waiting for this my whole life, so I'm ready. I feel like
Yeah, here we are.
I'm not gonna be perfect, obviously, but I'm ready.
The y'all of them are gonna want to see
Okay,
the y'all
you
You
work
should be.
behind the
You
scenes.
should be lucky you're here. You should feel
Yeah.
gifted to absorb all this wisdom we're gonna give you.
Yes.
Peep game, check play. Calaveras County. We'll fucking rep Calaveras County. That's Princess Camp, guys. It's actually prison, but it's not. You want to go to prison? Go to Shasta. It's a much more accurate depiction
It's
of
just
prison.
a jail, though, right? It's not
No, it's a prison. Look it
Is
up.
it?
Yeah, it's a
I
prison.
thought it was just a jail.
And that made it better, being at a prison facility.
Instead
where
of-
you
No,
would-
pussy runs that jail or runs
Yeah.
that prison. So
That's why.
yes, and I was like, from the second that I walked in, I knew that pussy. I was like, everything was immaculate. Like, so on the floor, there are lines. So there's the yellow brick road. I was like, that's pussy. That's pussy. There's no man who was like, follow the yellow brick road. Like that was not invented.
I love how we watched Wicked
Mm-hmm.
prior to you having this experience. So
Yeah,
it could be
it's
like,
marvelous. That's a good reference point
you feel like
for anybody that's vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I could tell like the second that I hit the doors that it was pussy. That pussy ran that jail. I was like, there's like way too much. And then the food when they got there, like, so me and Nikki were in different cells. Okay, so
You and who?
me and Nikki.
Nikki.
Yeah. So that was we were the only two black girls, the only two. Anyways, so short. So we were in our separate cells. So in Shasta, you have like 10 bitches in a holding cell. Okay, so you get to princess camp. Each princess has her own cell. And they have this great thing that like divides you from the toilet so that everybody else in the jail can't see you going
I
to the
love how
bathroom.
everybody's a princess at princess camp.
These bitches thought they were.
With it being a prison, were you with inmates that were like in for more serious crimes than?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Was that a big difference, or was that like?
Not different, not too much different from than my real life. I mean, I've always been the soft one in my group. Anybody in my group will tell you that. Nita, she's soft. I used to get in trouble. Like, Nita, you didn't hit her. And I was like, she was bleeding. And she was like, why didn't you help us? Well, you didn't look like you needed it. She looked like she needed some help. So yes, I've always been the soft one. So no, it wasn't that much different.
And this is what that cultural exposure is like for like mom, that she talks about all the time, that she's so thankful for seeing someone with a different background, because
in a different culture,
you understand each other's
it helps you to understand. I think it helps me have more compassion for people and help me understand a whole different world than I came up.
I second that notion. So we do have, you guys do have a stigma, like you mean, or a label on you the same way that we have a label on us when we go into a grocery store and we're like, aisle 5, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit. So you guys have that shit too. So like, without seeing behind the scenes or whatever, I would have just believed that all of you guys were shit people. Because most of you are.
But see how you still have that?
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, you proved it wrong, but it's still there. I mean,
I just think all y'all were. I didn't know that there was. I didn't know that they were out there.
I got to experience the other side.
You're hilarious.
By black people and white people.
Oh, that was.
I got to experience like racism, which is so weird from both sides because I'm associated with you, and it was very interesting to feel that, and I'm really grateful that I got to feel that, because I mean, I get a tiny little piece of what others may feel like when you get judged for your race or skin color or whatever. I was like, whoa, that was a bit crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, because talk a little bit about what your upbringing was like in terms of stereotypes.
I mean, I would say I grew up in a very hierarchical, patriarchal, controlled, religious, white privileged family. You know, and very, what do you call that? Very
isolated,
sheltered,
isolated,
all of that. I actually was taught to be afraid of the world. The world was evil. Anything in the world was evil. So I had to actually overcome all of that to even be able to feel comfortable in society. So for me to get to experience a whole nother culture that didn't grow up like I did, and actually has a whole different belief system about life and about the world, was so incredibly exciting for me, because I'm like, oh, not everybody believes like I did. Not everybody, and that was very liberating for me.
Yeah, I mean, I remember growing up, I don't think I met anyone that I wasn't related to until we moved to a different state.
Yep.
Everyone I knew was a relative, and so that just shows you a little bit of isolation that I had growing up. And then for you, Nita, what's been your perspective of mom in that she came from that background, and seeing how that's translated into who she is now versus kind of the initial stereotypes you might have
So the
felt?
stereotype followed her for quite some time. She didn't get to like just be relieved of that label because she gave up some coochie. Like that was not the case. She, you know, there was definitely serious tragedy that was associated with her proving that she wasn't just another white chick or just another white woman, you know what I mean? And that she could, because I was constantly looking for the motive, because I'm a lot. And I mean, stay tuned, because I have no words. And I'm not sure that like coming from like a wholesome, family, very beige suburbia, same parent home, 2 parents in the home, have been married for like 38 years, 37, let me be accurate.
35.
37, you guys have been together for 37 years.
Okay.
We count
In
all
high
those.
school.
Yeah,
She's in high school.
Yep, they dated
2
in high
years of
school.
On and off in high school.
Yes.
Until we got married. Yes.
Right, when you dated your best friend.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so, well, and then, good thing you didn't pick him, huh?
Well, you could
Yeah.
start. Are you starting from 8th grade when they held hands on the
Yeah,
bus? for the first
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I count all those times.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I think something that aha moment I had the other day, or something that I realized, is that I was starved as a child for unconditional love.
So
I
many
was
things.
starved. I know so many things, but one of the most deep-rooted things was I was starved for unconditional love. And then when I came to realize what unconditional love was, I first had to love myself that way. But then I wanted to know, could I love somebody else that way? Is it really real? Is it true? Could I do that? And for me, I find it pretty easy to love unconditionally because that's something that I want to receive. And so it's easy for me to give. And I don't know, I think if everybody in the world could at least tap into what that looks like and try to live out of unconditional love, this whole world would be different.
I also have had the aha moment of, if this exists inside of me, it must exist somewhere else. And that kind of changes everything. Because at first, when you feel this thing that you don't really see around you, or you see something that feels different, then you're like, oh, this is a problem with me, this is a thing with me, or this is like
deficiency,
yes,
I'm odd,
either
I'm
a
different,
deficiency, or it's something you don't really understand. Because, for example, like when I first started feeling like I was, available to have an open love type of relationship with the world where it's not, conforming to certain relationship structures, I was like, obviously that's a deficiency because it doesn't match everything else. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have this beautiful piece of me that wants to give love and go deep and intimate with so many,
with whatever human I can encounter.
yeah,
on whatever level I choose
whoever,
to share with.
Exactly, like whatever is natural,
and it's not limited.
available.
It's not limited. It's not going to run out. It's not going to, there's not going to be, that like somebody's not going to get enough of, love or whatever, or somebody's going to be at a deficiency or a lack thereof because
and
of
that's
it.
in support of both of our wholeness in that moment, and the wholeness of everyone. And so being able to realize, okay, if I have this in me that I know and I can feel is so beautiful, it can be so beautiful anywhere else. And then you start to see it in the world. You start to see your reflections because you kind of crack open that door of belief.
Or you start to create it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I know, for us, it started with having one child. And then I doted on that child. I gave our firstborn everything of me. And you wonder, can I love another one the same way? Like, that is something that worries parents when you're going to have your second child. Have the second one. You have more love to give. It's like it doesn't run out. And I think in life, that can be the same for people. Like, we can love somebody unconditionally. We can love multiple people unconditionally, but we have this belief system that indoctrination.
It is indoctrination. So
yes.
The reason that marriage, everybody that's out that that's married, it's happily married, well, kudos to you, okay? But half of marriages end in divorce or some kind of ugly breakup. Now, the reason that is because we're not built to fucking mate forever, okay? Now let's just break it down. All that fuzzy shit they were talking about, let's break it down to primates, okay? If you pull any man aside and go, hey, can I keep my wife and still fuck so-and-so over here on the side without damaging this relationship in any way, shape, form, or fashion? Every fucking one of them, if they're gonna be honest, will say absolutely yes. If this relationship is not gonna be damaged. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Now, if we were meant to mate for life, guess what? We would mate for life because, there are, animals that do that. We're not fucking one of them. You know who do it? Penguins. Penguins do it. Mostly happens in birds, okay?
Penguins don't do it.
I would say instead of being this or this, it's yes and. I think both of them.
You always think that.
I mean, it's like
She does.
if the most beneficial thing for both people that they feel like is benefiting them is to pair up and explore other avenues of life. Because again, not everyone's joy avenue is sex. There's other avenues that is
Sure.
joy.
I don't
So
disagree with
partnering
that. I
might
don't
be
disagree
the
with that.
best thing for them.
Sure,
Well,
because there's other things that
but
can
it's
be-
also people only have the capacity for one child or no children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everybody has different capacities. So
That's true. I'll agree
So
with
to
that.
judge that everybody should look one way, this is what's wrong with our world anyway, is that we always want everybody to look exactly the same. Because diversity, unknown, all of that scares us. You don't look like me. I don't understand you. I'm scared.
And
That's
yeah,
what our
because
world is like.
No, that's our design.
Shatter a wall.
Yes.
Like polyamory, like free love, open love. But then polyamory starts getting all these rules. And it's like, but to be polyamorous, you have to do this, this, this.
Oh,
this.
man,
It's like,
oh,
my
man,
God.
oh, man.
Oh my gosh. So it's like, yes, just let's go into the everyone.
So
is
just for
unique.
the record, so I
Everyone
don't
can
offend
make their own
anybody,
rules.
so I don't offend anybody. Like I'm an old faggot, so I don't know all of the pronouns and shit. I'm just a big old dyke. Like I just. So don't forgive me if I don't use them improperly, and because I am both, I get to use those words. Not everybody can, but because I am one, I'm able to. So that's just a little history lesson for you guys. Okay, go on.
Context.
Yeah, you gotta have context. Like, yeah. Like, don't take offense to it.
Yeah, we're here for upliftment, empowerment.
I'm just saying that really the reason, like, you know, the good book and the Bible and church and religion and marriage and all those things were all created were to make Penn stop raping and pillaging so that children could grow in a fucking household that was stable.
Oh, but that's
Like-
also the narrative that comes from the people that wrote those things.
Yes.
So a lot of
And
the
then this
pillaging
fear
and
was
the
survival mode.
genocide was from the people with the religions. So
Yes,
there's,
caused
like,
by, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the revolt from the people that were,
I believe that if we value
you're so
our
cute.
own hearts
You're so
and like we start bridging the fact that we are all interconnected and every action that I do ripples out to everyone,
Yes,
and
energy
their
is
action
energy.
ripples out, then that means we can start having compassion and
Yes.
and for that to go in both directions. Like, let me see your past and how that's influenced and created
Yeah.
you, and understanding you in that way can mean that I can help to benefit how we walk in the future of understanding each other.
Okay, so yes, I don't know if I'm going to articulate quite as well as you did, but yes, I absolutely agree with that to a certain extent. So anytime that two humans cross paths for any significant time in their life, or for any significant period of time, or even more often than one time, you guys keep crossing paths. Okay, so we cross paths for a reason. There's something that that person has that you need to learn, and there's something that you have that you need to teach them. There's an exchange that needs to take place between humans because we are pack animals. That's why the most severe punishment to humans is 23-hour lockdown, and I'll tell you, it's not pleasant. So, for that reason, we do need each other, and we are united. Like, we are stronger together. That is why all of the things that they have put forth in front of us has done nothing but to divide, because why we are stronger together than we are apart. And if we all get together and rival for love, you mean fuck, the government would be fucked, and I just can't have that. So. That's
love
just,
that.
I'm serious. We might shatter the ceiling if we're all
And
united.
I do still want to say that while that could be the worst punishment, and that absolutely be the case, that could also be like the greatest reward, because I've experienced that being the most beautiful thing.
Honey, not everybody has the strongest mind.
Right,
as you do,
right.
because
I'm just
everybody has
leaving
different
things
capacities.
open. Yeah, so in certain
Hold on, so
capacities.
you know how like the people that are like, oh, you know, they're not average. Like we're different. We're they probably, I don't know, you probably call us a whole bunch of shit. But so the norms, or for the average people, they don't have that capacity. However, hopefully through tuning into our podcast, or maybe being, challenged with something that looks different for them, and they're not laced with their sneakers
That's why
and
I was
running
just
the other
cracking
way.
open the door. Like, this could be the worst punishment, or there could be value there.
Yeah, you get that from your father.
Crack it open.
Trust me, it sucks.
It could also be different because one was forced to be there, the other one
Mm-hmm.
did it
That
on
is
their own.
true.
Yes.
So there's
That
a
is
difference
true.
there.
And yeah, your door opened, mine didn't. A little different. So when you guys cross paths, you're supposed to exchange something. Now, first of all, whether the people that are involved that are cross paths on several occasions, whether they have the cognitions to know why, or able to identify those things that they need in that other person, or identify them, or exchange them, is completely up to us before we, part ways. And if you keep on running into the same motherfucker over and over and over again,
Even if they're in different people.
you're damn right. Damn right. You
You're
might want to pay attention. You might want to pay attention. Keep game check
Recognize
play.
those patterns.
Because some of them might belong to you. Well, just maybe. But maybe not.
Yep.
Guys,
I think that was amazing.
I think it was great.
Oh, gosh.
And that's a wrap.
Yep.